All right, good day, everyone. I want us to continue. I believe by now you have received your pre assessment, which is your introduction presentation. Now, the next one we have got module one. Module one is it says manage customer service. And I am aware that all of you are part of the volunteers that are taking part in different portfolios or committees. And like I said during the first presentation, this course is geared towards equipping you so that you are prepared for the work that you'll be doing. And I believe that you will be welcoming different guests from different towns, different countries, all over the world, all over Africa, possible. And now, on this case, our customer, when we say customer, we are referring to our guests. People will be coming to South Africa to take part in the World Cup. Some will be your technical officials, some will be your sport lovers. Basically, all these types of people must be well taken care of, and they must be given a good experience by you. And therefore, this module is supposed to equip you with the basic customer service skills that you would need to apply when dealing with different guests. And I want us to begin. The first thing we have here is what is customer service or what is guest service. If you want to service your guests, meaning you want to give them the best experience, and that is considered to be customer service. Now, basically, customer service is the way you treat your guests. I'm sure that maybe some of us have got experience in running or working for or in a business. You understand that one of the key things that all businesses must do is to be able to give a good service to their customers. Now, in this case, we should be able to give a very good service to our guests. And what are some of the things that could be classified as good customer service? Now, some of the things we talk of the turnaround time. Now, turnaround time is basically how long it should take you to get back to a customer. For example, if maybe a customer says, I've got a query, or I need to get a Wi-Fi code, let's say for a hotel or for a B&B or for a guest house. He says, oh, say, can you please give me a Wi-Fi code? Now, the turnaround time is how much does it take, how much time does it take you to get back to the customer with a response? Now, the response could be, okay, good day, say, the Wi-Fi code is here, or good day, say, I'm sorry, the Wi-Fi is offline today. The key thing, turnaround time does not mean you must give the customer what he wants. It means at least you must get back to the customer on time. The second thing on customer service is something we call proactivity. Proactivity, that's when we are a bit ahead of the customer, meaning if you run a business or you work as a volunteer, meaning we need to know what the customer or the guest is going to need before he needs it. For example, let's say we know that the game is ending in 10 minutes time, and therefore we need to get the bus ready for the guest to go back to the hotel. Now, it will not be proper for us to only go to get the bus when the time is over. To be proactive, it means that before the game ends, a driver must be alerted that, okay, the game is ending in 10 minutes. Why don't you reverse the bus closer to the door so that when the game ends, the guests don't have to spend time waiting. They can go into the bus immediately and head into the hotel. Now, that is called proactivity. Proactivity, the opposite of proactivity is somebody who's reactive. Reactive means that you wait for the game to end, then you start looking for the bus. Proactivity means that you look for the bus before the game ends so that when the game ends, the people don't spend time waiting. One of the key things that we have on customer service is offering other things. Now, as different people will be coming to our country, it's always good to give people an additional experience, not just to give them what they came for. For example, if you are, let's say, if you are selling cell phones, besides selling only cell phones, it's also good to tell the customer that, oh, we don't only sell for cell phones, we also sell SIM cards. You can also buy a pouch for your cell phone. Now, that is called offering additional services to your customer. And the next thing on customer service is attend to their needs. Now, what are the needs of the customer? The need of the customer is speed. The need of the customer is good service. The need of the customer is for you to be able to deliver on time and meet the customer expectations. So those are basically what could be classified as customer service. Now I want us to move on to the next slide. I'm going to send you all the slides so that as you watch the video, you can be following the slides with me. By the way, all the slides are taken directly from your portfolio of evidence, tasks, and assignments. So this is aligned. So what it means, once you've watched the video, you should be able to answer all the questions in your portfolio with ease. Now, the next presentation that I want us to look at are the 10 principles, or let me say the principles that guides us to deliver great customer service. Now, principles are things that always work when they are applied. And for us to deliver great customer service, there are principles that we need to follow. I may not cover all of them, but I will look at the key principles, and I'm sure it will give you a very good idea. The first one that I've got is putting the customers first. Now, what this means, it means the customer should not wait for you whilst you are chatting with your friend. The customer must be service first. Now, the customer or the guest is very valuable to us. The guest is important, and attending to guests must be a priority. I know in our work, there might be many things that you'll be doing, but you have to prioritize the guest. They must not be kept waiting for a long time when it's not necessary. And the next thing is always acknowledge the customers or the guests. To acknowledge means that when the person is around or the person has arrived at the reception, don't just ignore the person. Even if you are busy, it's always good to go to the customer and say, good day, sir, good day, ma'am. I'm sorry, we are busy at the moment. However, as soon as I'm done with the person I'm busy with, I'll attend to you. And I promise you, you will not wait for long. So many people don't like it when they are not acknowledged. I'm sure you've seen it with yourself. Sometimes you go to a bank, sometimes you go to a clinic, and you can sit there for a long time and nobody comes to say you are this number on the queue. So it makes you to be hopeless because you don't know if you will ever be attended. The next thing is to make regular customers feel valued. Now, the guest should feel that they are important. They are not a nuisance. They are not wasting our time. So it's good from time to time to say, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you've come to visit our country. We hope that you come to our country again. All those nice casual comments, they make the guests and the customers feel really valued. Now, the next one is always listen to your customers. You know, customers, they might have things they want to say. Sometimes they might want to complain. Sometimes they might want to express, maybe not complaint, maybe dissatisfaction. It's always good to give them an ear. And the proper response when you listen to customers is to say, thank you so much for expressing your concerns. We will consider, or I will escalate, or will attend to it. Thank you so much for improving the way we do things. Treat customers with respect at all times. Customers must be treated with respect. We should not use language that is not appropriate. We should not use vulgar language. We should not swear. We should not be rude to the customers. Customers must be treated with respect. They should feel that they are important, and they should feel that we appreciate the fact that they are our guests or our customers. And always keep your cool. Now, always keep your cool. Let me say this, some guests might irritate you. They might push you, beyond your limit. But I'm going to ask that you become patient. Don't think about yourself. Even if you are irritated, think about the country. Think about Netball South Africa in this case, and find a way to respond. Some guests might even insult you. They might even push you physically. And we advise that all volunteers should not act, in a way that is not appropriate or in a way that would disgrace the organization or our beautiful country. So just remain calm. In extreme situations, you may need to escalate or call your manager, or in a case whereby maybe the guest becomes violent, you may perhaps need to move away or call for security or something. It will not be good for you to say, okay, the guest is pushing me, I'm going to give him a clap or I'm going to punch him on the face. That will not be nice at all. Be willing to go an extra mile for the guests. Always, I'm sure you've been to the store whereby you ask somebody, oh, sorry, where can I find this? And then somebody will say, go to aisle number 4. Or I don't know about you, I find that to be a bit cold. But some places when you go to and you say, oh, please, where can I find, let's say, sugar? You will get some of the guys on the floor, they will stop what they were doing and say, okay, sir, please follow me. And they will take you to where the sugar is. And most of the time, anytime somebody does that, I would feel that the person is going an extra mile. And my response will always be, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. So you must go an extra mile. Sometimes you may not really have the time. It might not be convenient for you to go an extra mile, but let's try our best to treat our guests and to give them the best experience ever. Now, check customer satisfaction levels. That means that all the time, check the customer. Were you assisted? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Are you happy with the product? Are you happy with the service? And the next one, it says that make things easy for customers. Don't make customers struggle to find things. For example, if you are placed in a hotel or in a guest house, it's easy to say, okay, if you need the PIN code for the Wi-Fi, it's here. If you need the remote, please, it's here. If you need your clothes to be washed, you need some laundry services, you can put your dirty clothes here. So what we are trying to say here, the customer should be given the best experience. They should not struggle to find help. We should find ways to make things easy for them. And finally, on this slide is to say, let's show appreciation to our guests. Remember, our guests are our customers. Some of them have flown from far countries. They came to improve the economy of the country. And it's always important for us to say, thank you so much for coming. If I was running a shop, I'll probably say, oh, thank you so much for coming to buy from us. Hope you come again. Goodbye, something like that. Now, and I want to look at now the causes of customer dissatisfaction. Many times I'm sure you've been unhappy also with the service, and it happens from time to time whereby one is not happy with the service. I'm sure you've been to a store or you've been to a place where you were not happy with the way you were treated by the salesperson or by the way you were treated by the staff in that place. And I want us to look at the causes. What are some of the things that could make a customer to be unhappy or not satisfied? The first thing you see here, high prices. When products are overpriced, the customers could be turned off. Sometimes invoice disputes. Maybe the customer was charged more than he should have been charged, or maybe he was over debited. Things like that, we need to attend to them with urgency. Lack of quality, maybe when the service offered to the guest is poor and the guest might be unhappy, or maybe the guest is sleeping in your guest house, and when he comes back after the games in the evening, he finds that the bed was not made, the glasses that he was using last night are still on the table. It's not a nice experience, or the bathroom was not cleaned. Now, customers will complain because of lack of service or lack of quality service. Lack of payment options. Customers become unhappy when maybe you say the only way you can pay here is cash. We don't have speed point. Now, if you are working in an area where customers must make payments, especially when dealing with foreign nationals, we need to find a number of options for them to pay. Somebody might not have cash, but somebody might have a universal card like a Visa card. What it means, speed point services or FET services must be allowed to make it nice and convenient. Also, general poor customer service makes customers unhappy when customers feel that you are not going an extra mile, you are not making any effort, I don't know if you've been to a place whereby you want help and you get there, you see maybe two guys who are working there, they are just talking to each other and laughing and not taking note of you, or they've noticed you, but they are just talking to themselves, or everybody is on the phone. Most of the time, if I get that experience, I would maybe walk away, or I will go to them and say, guys, can I be assisted? So it's not a nice experience. Everybody wants to be prioritized. Everybody wants to be assisted with urgency. Also, we speak of the lack of company transparency. If there's no transparency, meaning we are not truthful about what the customer will get. Many times, if we don't tell the truth up front, the customer would be upset at the end of the day. The customer needs to know everything. For example, if you are selling a product and let's say there is no refund, you should say to the customer that this product that you are buying, there is no refund. You can't bring it back if it doesn't work. So be sure before you buy it that you like it, because you can't return it. Then we look at the inaccuracy of information. Sometimes guests are given information that is not accurate. For example, the directions to the venues might not be correct, and the customer could get lost and become upset, and all those things could cause problems. And general misunderstanding between guests and us, maybe you don't agree about something and the argument becomes heated. At the end of the day, it makes the customer very much unhappy. Now, the customers, they need something, or the guests. That's why they come to us. For example, the Netball World Cup, people are looking for something. That's why they are spending money to come to South Africa. Now, the next slide, it looks at the customer needs. That what does the customer need in order for him or her to be happy? The first thing that customers need or guests need is friendliness. They need a smile. They need somebody who is kind and somebody who's willing to help them. The second thing they need something we call empathy. Empathy is somebody who shows good emotions. For example, the guest comes to you and says, sorry, sir, this morning I lost my wallet. I don't know what happened. So you can't say to the guest, you are so careless. Why don't you look after your things? The best thing to say is, oh, I'm sorry to hear that you've lost your wallet this morning. Can I maybe report it as missing, or did you report it at the reception? Just show some that you are concerned and you sympathize with the customer. Even if you feel that maybe the guest was careless, you may not need to show that. Then the next one is we need to be fair to customers. Be fair. Fairness, the best way to explain fairness is treat the guests the way you would want to be treated if you were the guest. And provide customers with alternatives. For example, if you are running a bus service, let's say the guests missed the 9 o'clock bus, it's always good to say, okay, no problem. If you've missed the 9 o'clock bus, you can always catch the 9:30 Or if you can't eat your breakfast at 6:30, don't worry, we can bring it to your room, or you can come at 7:30, or you can come at 8:30. There should be options. There should not just be one way that is rigid. Then the next thing that customers want is the information. Customers must be given enough information about the games, about all the services. That information is always ideal to have it written down so that they can read it. If maybe there's a schedule or a timetable that has got all the activities for the week or for the month, the guests must be provided with that information on time. And one of the things that customers need, they need time. Time could mean a number of things. The first thing that time could mean, it could mean that customers, they want you to deliver or to attend to them on time, meaning they don't want anybody to waste their time. Now, I want to bring something to you, which is called, it's a statement basically, which I think you've got this question on your portfolio. It says that the customer is always right. And what does that mean? The customer is not always right. Let's be clear on that. But we've heard this phrase that the customer is always right. Now, this comes from the fact that the customer is a client, or the guest is important because it brings money to us, it brings money to the business, it brings money to the country. So the reason why we say the customer is always right is because if the customer walks away, we would have lost the deal, would have lost the business. And besides that, some customers, when you lose them, they can go out and speak to everybody about the negative experience that they had from you. So the best thing, if there's an issue between you and the customer, is to find a way to neutralize the issue so that at the end of the day, you still have the customer with you. That's why we say the customer is always right. It's because that we want to treat the customer well, even when we feel that the customer is not treating us well, because we don't want to lose the customer, because the customer, he brings us business. So that's why we say the customer is always right. Now, the various ways you can communicate with your guests, I'm sure you might be aware, it's basic things. These are the basic ways you can share information with your guests. You can use emails, you can put information on the websites, you can do text messaging, which most people don't do that much. Now people are using a lot of WhatsApp. You can use social media platforms if maybe there's something that they need to know and you have a bit of time to share that information. You can use notice boards, and there's quite a number of platforms. You can create WhatsApp groups where people can be added, and all the information that they need to know can be posted there so that you can reach as many people within a short period of time. And I think this will be the end of Module 1 presentation. And we'll share the Module 1 portfolio. I would say more like the questions and answer discussions. Part of this session, we're going to go through the questions that are in your portfolio and sort of guide you and give you various ways so that you can be able to answer each question. And if necessary, we'll make some templates available for you so that if maybe you are not sure, for example, I think this module, there's a question that says you must draft a customer service policy. What we'll do, we can provide an example for you so that you don't struggle to draft that policy. Guys, thank you so much for watching and all the best. The next video will be Module 2 presentation, and I believe that you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much and cheers.